Hey everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Guess what? It is tax time. And I'm not sure where our little logo is there. Don't
It'll
we?
come. Hit it.
Okay. All right, we're going to talk about a little tax help. We want to start by saying we are not tax experts, nor are we CPAs or attorneys in any way when it comes to tax law. But we just want to share our personal experiences over the years as being self employed, home based business owners and entrepreneurs for myself since 36 years.
And for me, 45. I did have a couple of jobs in there, but
Yeah, so did I. But for the most part, we always were entrepreneurial in our spirit, and so therefore we always had to pay money in instead of looking for a big return. So we're going to talk about that and how that can transition as you go from full time to an entrepreneur big time.
right.
All right, so this is Marty and Cheryl Turner, master coordinators with Shackley, and we are excited to share this information with you. It is something that we would have liked to have done a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. So let's begin. It is a brief overview. We're not going to take a ton of time, just about 15, 20 minutes max, to share what it is that we're doing. And we already mentioned earlier, so I'll say it again. The number one tax tip I can tell you is find a good home-based business tax accountant.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say home-based business, there's plenty of people that are bookkeepers. There's plenty of people who do accounting, but they need to be specialized in home-based businesses so that they can acknowledge and understand what you're doing and how to maximize the write-offs that you can take. So the home-based business really equals tax savings. For a lot of people, the light at the end of the tunnel for you and millions of others is starting your own home-based business and benefiting from it. The tax advantages alone make a home-based business the single best financial move you could ever make. And that's from Sanford Botkins, who does a great job. I would look him up if you want to Google that. As a former director of the IRS audit division, he's done an entire series that is absolutely invaluable. And anything you pay to get that education to buy that course, for instance,
Right.
is 100% tax write-off. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more now about document and expenses and why that's so important.
Yeah, the reason you need to document your expenses is because that's what they need. They need proof. And this was hard for me to start doing, but I learned it. I started by just having one box that I threw all my receipts in. Then I went to folders, folder per month. Then I got smart and I got a business credit card, and that has most of my expenses on that business credit card, and that simplified everything. So small business tax deductions are legal and ethical. Almost everything you spend money on to grow your business is a tax write-off, and you own that business. So get that credit card. Don't wait as long as I did and have to have boxes and boxes of receipts, because the credit card is your receipt for business expenses. And then you qualify to deduct things that you already spend money on. And we're not going to go into all the details here. Again, do your research, find a good tax advisor. The tax code's designed to give business owners tax breaks that you just don't get with a job.
That's right. And one of the big things when you're getting that credit card is just get a couple different credit cards and have one that you exclusively use for business, because it's a lot easier to keep track of all of that stuff. So keeping more of your money is definitely a good thing. So let's talk about some of the tax breaks. Now, we talked about the single best decision you could make in starting a home-based business. The average person, even though they're working full-time in a job, could write off somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000 a year without even trying. Now, what that's going to mean, because you're W-2, and again, you got to make the conversion for those people in Canada, so we apologize, we don't have all the lingo down there, but that will mean that instead of you wondering and worrying, you're going to be able to get a bigger tax return. And in the future, again, not advice, but something to look into, that you could change some of your deductions so that you could keep more of your money throughout the year and still have a nice return. Your goal should be to get a small return so that you can keep your money rather than the IRS playing with it all year long.
Right.
So the legal and accounting fees are all a tax write-off. So even though you might have to spend hundreds of dollars on having legal and accounting professionals take care of your taxes rather than trying to do it yourself, it'll be worth every penny, especially if you can increase your write-offs. And also, by the way, if you don't make a lot of money in your current job or business, you need the tax write-offs
Right.
even more, of course, because if you make a lot of money, especially in a job or a business, you're really going to need the tax breaks
Right.
as well. And so, one of the things that we're kind of blown away by, because we just got done taking care of our 2023.
First time we've been done this early.
Yeah, no extensions for us this time. Yay, yay, Marty and Cheryl.
Yay, we did
That
it.
we are so blessed that we now pay more in taxes, even after all our write-offs, far more than we used to make
Yeah.
years and years ago.
Yeah, and we give more to church and charities than we used to make. That just blows my mind.
It is a really beautiful place to be. So,
and those are write-offs.
Absolutely, charitable giving is definitely write-off. Cheryl,
That's
go ahead
right.
and talk a little bit more about keeping receipts, and good records.
Yeah, and create a simple filing system, something that you can do. Like for me, like I said, at first it was just a box. You can have a 3-ring binder. A lot of people have those. They keep them for years. You only have to keep them 6 years, though. We have banker boxes still with some receipts in if you don't have a filing cabinet big enough. And then the online tools that we have today, you guys, it's like hiring an army of people to work for you. So your credit card keeps the best track that you can keep for these bills.
Yeah.
And expenses. Set up a document or file for every month of the year. Now, again, with the credit cards, you don't have to do that. It's already set up for you. Save every receipt that has anything to do with your business, even food and items for business parties, quote, or meetings.
That's right.
And people who keep receipts and take advantage of the breaks will stay in business much longer than one who does not.
Yeah, one of the big things is whether you're putting it on a spreadsheet, because your accountant isn't going to need all the receipts. What they're going to need is a detailed breakdown of all of those expenses, but you'll need the receipts if there was ever an issue as far as being audited. Scan your receipts is something that you can do. Cheryl talked about keeping it at least 6 years. Check with your accountant on some of the new laws because they change each and every year. The whole my dog ate my receipt doesn't work when it comes time for audit. So the whole idea is that we want to have all the things that we can. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen it, but I think it's purposeful that these receipts fade so you can't reuse them over time. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the paper they use them on. So scan them. You can take photos of them, save them electronically, keep a backup, and then make sure that you also have them somewhere on the cloud in case your hard drive was to crash, meaning that you want a virtual backup somewhere.
Right.
And of course, there's tons of great apps now for your iPhone and your Androids to help you keep track of your expenses, your mileage. I happen to use one called Mileage ID, which keeps track of all my business miles and personal miles, so I can kind of separate those as well.
ID or IQ?
IQ, thank you. You're right. It's Mileage IQ. Thank you very much. Go check that out. A great resource if you don't have something like that.
And so Marty already mentioned that. We do want to claim all the deductions and just make sure you track them. Schedule C is the form you want to fill out for your business for immediate and future tax breaks, because this is something that you can track over years. You can convert money spent on your mortgage, utilities, auto, kids, etc. into write-offs. The IRS and the DSA say so, but you have to be real careful with that, and you really have to document those things. And then pay yourself first. Invest in you. You are your most important asset. And you can get a 20% deduction for the QUID, the Qualified Business Income deduction. Again, talk to your tax professional.
Beautiful. Do you want to talk a little bit about our friend as they went to director?
Oh, yeah. Marty and I have a lot of partners in this business who are not directors, but make a lot of money on their day jobs. And we have friends who wrote off thousands before they ever got to director. They were investing in their business. They kept good track of the receipts. And then if you do sell your home, you pay taxes on the portion that you wrote off. So check with your accountant. Or if you're like us, if you buy another house, just keep the one you have to.
There you go. All right. Well, more business deductions to talk about. So first of all, education expenses and licenses. So anything you do when you're going to conference, anything you do when it comes to any of the tools you're using, maybe you get a new cell phone, a new laptop, the percentage of your self-employment tax. There's also a number of different things, like if you're giving out samples, which you should. I think that's a great way to get people using the products. Those can all be a write-off. There's a lot of different business tools. We talked about if you're paying for Zoom or if you're doing any kind of advertising online or offline.
Or you have a fancy mug.
That's right. Also, gifts for clients. Now, here's the interesting thing. If they're clients or customers, it's $25 per year per person, unless it's an award or prize. So guess what? When we do these awards and prizes, which are a lot more than $25, we can write those off fully. There is no cap on the $25. And hiring your kids at the appropriate age that they can do certain things, and or grandkids,
Yep.
will definitely allow them to be able to have the money. You have the write-off, and it's not even taxable for them up to a certain amount of time
Right.
at a certain age.
Right.
So again, check with your accountant and your CPA to find out more about that, because you may as well be paying someone, because that money is either going to go to the IRS or go to your kids or grandkids.
Right.
I'd rather bless our grandkids.
And they're all legal deductions.
Absolutely. All right. Let's talk about more legal deductions.
Now, and 100% of your business meals when we travel, your utilities are deductions, your home office space, your repair, your maintenance of that home office,
Yep.
your supplies, postage, phones, all of that are legal deductions. This is a business tool. There's no question about it. We also call it our moneymaker. We
right.
shake our moneymaker.
Yep.
And the office equipment, your furniture, if you need to get a new chair, a good ergonomic one. If the publications you pay for, the books, we buy lots and lots of those things
Yep.
that are related to business. Those are all tax deductions. And then record your mileage. You guys, it's worth 67 cents per mile in the US in 24. So definitely record your mileage. And then your business travel overnight per diem is really simple. It can range anywhere from like $59, $60 to $79 or $80. Again, check with your tax professional. But there are some things we can't write off.
That's
Now,
right.
I found these great ideas because we love giving grandbabies cash for their birthdays.
Right.
And we are doing that Kleenex one for our middle grandson.
Yeah.
For his birthday. Actually, we can do it for the youngest grandson. His birthday's coming up very soon.
There you go.
And but you can't write them off if you don't have a receipt. So these are just fun ideas, but they are not tax deductions.
All right. Well, it's your money. Document everything. There's a big difference between making money and keeping it. And
Yep.
so we want all of you to be highly productive business owners that have all the benefits of ownership.
We want you to be able to multiply your money and to have your best life ever.
Absolutely. Well, what I would encourage you to do is get back with the person who thought enough to invite you. Find out maybe what they're doing. There's different systems. There's different kind of cheat sheets to kind of help you. Each and every year, you should be getting better and better at the write-offs that you can take, because if you think about it, jobs use people every day.
Yep.
And here's the idea: you can either own the ladder, but a lot of people, they just work a job,
Yep.
all right, and then they don't think about any of the things that they're doing, and they don't really have the opportunity to climb to where they want to go, because at the end of the day, they don't own the ladder, so they don't climb one.
Yep.
The best thing to do is build your dream or build someone else's is really important to understand. So I would encourage you to own the ladder and climb to the stars, and let's do it together.
Worst thing you can do is climb someone else's ladder. You're solidifying their future. The more money you can save with these deductions, the more you can build a solid investment portfolio.
Thanks, everyone. We appreciate you checking out what we're so excited about, not only in being in business, but also all the write-off opportunities. And the idea is that whether you own your own business and do it 100% or just part-time, you can still take advantage of all the business deductions. So talk with your tax accountant, talk to your CPA, and find out more. And we thank you guys for taking a listen. All right. Have a great day.
Treat your business like a big business, and it will be.